And finally, we are in the semi-finals between teams Beba and Boba going up against Team Awesome Knights. So, anKcat and Raelia gonna go and pick Cybran and Aeon, it seems. And they are starting in the left side corner. Their opponents are gonna be no one else but Team Beba and Boba, made up of Paralon and Mr. Pancake. Opting for Cybran and also Aeon, so it seems we are getting a mirror faction matchup on both sides. But the thing that is the most interesting about this matchup is the map, Saskiya. There is not many mexes you can go and actually protect quite easily. As you can see, the land on the sides, there's not many mexes, and even then, you can go with your frigates in here and kill them. Nothing is safe, nothing at all. Then, there are the middle islands, which, again, are not safe at all from the frigates. Just look at them, they're all flat like my girlfriend. So, frigate comes here, these mechs go poof. Then there is also the drop game, because you cannot go and shoot anything here, you cannot get engines here. Otherwise, basically, it's gonna be a game of who can drop the craters. And there is two of them. So we should be actually able to see some, not only navy fight happening, because, well, obviously there's a lot of navy mexes here, the submerged ones, also some hydras below the water. So navy and definitely submarines are gonna be amazing value here. But also, because of the way this land here is structured, you can basically go and push with some of your Aeon or even other engineers this way and basically get up here on the land. So not only we will see the players duke it out over this wall, a little sea, but also they will have to go and watch out for opponents just basically walking something here to the other side, making factory here, and basically making a push happen here, so yes. Honestly, it's kind of like a drunken beetle, but the middle is way more important than the sides. So yeah, this should be honestly quite an interesting thing to see play out, especially as Blinchik, our Mr. Pancake, and Paralon have already made and finished their T1 transports. We can see both of them loaded to the brim, barely hanging in the air as they are transporting the engineers. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Blinchik should have basically put one engineer here and then move forward, because just not dropping one here is a mistake in my opinion. And the problem seems that the top team is actually quite slower. Their transports are slower. The interceptor actually went all the way around the map together with the scout, and as such they didn't see anything at all. So yes, let's see how many needs Blink. Okay, 2 engineers have been dropped, meaning we still have 3 left on the chariot. And he is gonna drop them. Oh, that's how. One is gonna get dropped here to get the reclaim, and the other one is gonna go here to actually make the little land factory or something. So actually very nice planning, although I still don't agree with not dropping single NG here. That in my opinion was a mistake. A land factory and being built by anKcat, meaning we can already see both players willing to go and duke it out over this position here, and that was another thing happening. So yeah, the charioteer will be actually shot down by interceptors belonging to anKcat, which is, I don't think is the best idea, because the charioteer already did its job, and now what you should be actually doing is focusing on the enemy interceptors, because now you might shot down the chariot, right? But what does it mean? You're gonna lose these little guys here to the enemy interceptors. Meanwhile, these engines are already on the field and making hydro, while the other side made land factories, so yes, this position is banned. It seems like Blinchik is gonna get pushed out from here in the next few more seconds, even more so, as there is a T1 bomber coming from anKcat to basically go and kill them here too. And there is no reaction happening from Blin, so yes, this is looking quite bad. The same thing is actually happening on the other side. We have Paralon building a small proxy here, already 3 factories nearly done, which is gonna go up against these 2 factories here from Mr. Relia. Already proving that the action is gonna be happening everywhere, all around the map. So when we look actually at how the players expanded, it seems like the top team, Relia and anKcat, are really pushing it hard when it comes to the amount of mexes taken, as their mass income is on 72 versus 60 for the bottom team. And when we look at the reclaim, well, the team below, I mean on the bottom or the right side here, that is Paralon and Blinchik, actually managed to reclaim nearly double the mass of the enemy team, so while their mass income is lower, their reclaim game is much better. And yes, Gazettencraft, that was one of the brand new things that have been introduced by Jeep to the game. You can actually go and make some kind of orders. Basically, go and grab your engineer, make some orders around the map, some stuff like, you know, build queue, reclaim, and then put it on the transport. And then basically you will have the transport dropped and the engineer will basically move from the very get-go to go and start working, which is very nice. And if you want information about that, you can actually go and check out our wiki where everything is explained in basic details, so yes, it's not really hard. Although you will need to actually go and use a few of new orders that have been introduced in FAF. Anyway, after this game I think I will just go and post you the wiki page for it, so you can learn about it yourself. Anyway, I like this position with the ACU. It's quite aggressive, but what it means is that without enemy ACU, you can actually go and push in here and there will be nothing to go and stop your ACU from destroying this proxy, unless the proxy gets too big. But if Relia actually reacts on time, then he still should be capable of actually just dealing with it. Otherwise, this thing will grow like cancer and eat you away, and we don't want it happening, so we wanna deal with it as fast as possible. Use your ACU for the chemotherapy and remove the proxy base. Now it seems like the drop from Rael is actually gonna go and fall down here to secure this little position here, as the engineers from Rael actually managed to go and reclaim the engineers and buildings that Paralon was building. As we can see, these mechs here have been built by Paralon, and there are engineers missing, meaning that Relia won the reclaim game. Now on the top side, it seems like Blinchik is firmly and handedly winning the airfight, killing one interceptor after another belonging to anKcat, and pushing him behind, more and more in the air game. There is also a T1 bomber happening here, killing a lot of the T1 engineers belonging to anKcat. But the problem is here. This little proxy base, which is actually going for the T2 HQ right now, which might mean that Blinchik will have to move his ACU in here and make a really good point here and protect this choke point. Otherwise, things might get bad quite fast for him. Oh no, it seems like Raelia is actually going to engage with the airfight against Blinchik, and with Blinchik air actually going to protect the bomber, he's gonna take a few losses, but Raelia unfortunately stopped paying attention as his interceptors are going to land on the ground, but still having way more of the aircraft is gonna be enough of an advantage to even go and mob down all of the enemy air. And man, I can feel my throat just giving up already. I guess you can also hear the change in the tone. But yeah, the proxy from Paralon is really getting bigger and bigger. And if Raelia doesn't actually pay proper attention, he might lose his ACU here too, and that would be very bad. Or should I say, that would be horrible. Because playing 1v2 on such a big macro map is just not gonna work out. But yeah, let's see. The air game is looking quite good for Paralon, with the bombers and everything. But anything else happening? No. It seems like the only action is gonna be happening in the bottom part here. where we're gonna go and see a bunch of Auroras try to go and push their way through the enemy Mantises. But no, it seems like the Mantises are gonna go in as the Auroras are dying one after another. A lot of wrecks, a lot of fire, but it seems like the ACU being in here might be just the Joker card you needed to go and win this engagement. Even more so as the Auroras are nicely skating their way, drifting along the hill, but the Mantises are not slowing down. There is more and more of them. They're trying to go and fall back, but it seems like the ACU might actually be just dead. The ACU, unless it drops down to the water, it's gonna be dead. And here comes the bomber to kill the Auroras. Meaning that really is looking really bad. This location is quite sad. So never mind, it's gonna stay alive. The kiting from the Auroras actually proving to be really good. Though thankfully it seems like the damage is not gonna be that big, as we can see. Paralon already with a few engineers here to go and scoop down the bodies of his fallen comrades. And as such, what looked like a machination is gonna turn out to be just fine. As we can see, this thing is growing and growing, more and more factories being made. And as such, this will be a big problem for Realia. And on the other side, we can see that Mr. Blinchik is actually gonna somehow manage to protect his expansion here on this side, together with the PD, and also with our Spectres. So yes, it seems like the team Beba and Boba is actually doing quite fine. Even though I didn't like their starting drops. Yeah, just fine. So even more so when it comes to the mass income. 200 mass income for the team Beba and Boba versus 165 for Team Awesome Knights. And also, this is really nice to go and keep on using the Spectres to go and harass your opponent. But you might want to actually use some interceptors to protect them. Otherwise, they're just annoying machinations. That's what they are. Yeah, sorry for that. God damn it. 6 hours of speaking is too much. When it comes to the naval fight, it seems like Paralon, while still not winning, is doing a really good job using the submarines to not only kill the enemy frigates, but also to go and use them to pick off a single Nexus here and there, which is a very nice thing to do. After all, there is just so many underwater mexes that you really should be making more submarines and frigates on this map. Though obviously, if you play for the submarines, you have to watch out and not lose the airfights. Otherwise the torpedo bombers are gonna just kill them in no time. Okay, we have Blinchik's expanding on his air build. Now we have also a T2 naval HQ being queued up by Blinchik. Meanwhile, Paralon is going all in on the T2 air and T3 air switch. Meaning, we will most likely see some ASF on the field in the next 2 minutes. Meanwhile, compared to them, it seems like anKcat is going really hard on the Wagner spam, which I'm not sure is the best idea, considering they cannot really deal with the gunships or anything. And because you are playing Cybran, you have no... how is it called? You have no hover flag, so yes. I'm not a fan of the Wagners here on this map. Like, they're really good, but in this scenario, when enemy is getting T3 air and you have kind of no response for it yet. Okay, I misspoke. I just missed anKcat going for a T3 air. The HQ is done, the T3 power generator is done. Meaning that right now it is Blinchik who will have to go and play the catch-up, or rather Mr. Paralon, who is barely just finishing his own little HQ. So yes, this might be quite a fun game that is brewing, because when we look at the technology and units, it seems like the top team is winning very hard. But when we look at the mass income, we have 250 mass for the bottom team, while Team Awesome Knights only have 180, so that is already What, 70? Yes, that's 70 mass difference between the teams here at minute 13, or rather 14, so yes. This might be juicy. And I really do think that in the next few minutes we will see if the game is gonna be won or lost by the top team. As otherwise, the bottom team will be able to basically grind them down with their own economy advantage. And yeah, on the chat we can also see some really good points about building the gun upgrades on the ACU for rail, yeah? Because of the way this choke point works, there is basically no way to push through it without going into the ACU and the PD. But what's more interesting is that Paralon is actually gonna go and use the T2 transport to go and make drops all over the place, instead of using this unit to make a push, because that would be silly. Anyway, let's go back to the base of Mr. Blinchik, because it seems like not only the frigates are out here to go and finish off the T2 Naval HQ, the bigger problem is gonna be the coming inspectors from Mr. Raelia. There is some flak here and here, so I'm afraid that the gunships won't really work out too well, but they might be just enough to go and kill off at least a single T2 Pigeon power generators. And that is a battery battle, as I just said. But yeah, there is also a bunch of renegades coming in here, and it seems like the attack by Riley is unfortunately not gonna pay off. And yeah, while they could still try to go and finish off the T2 HQ, it's not gonna happen. There is still 10k HP to go through, and with the gunships and the torpedoes, yes, the HQ is not gonna fall down. Now, while there is some support coming in from anKcat, I'm afraid it's not enough. There is an airfight happening here on the middle, where we have basically AFK Swiftwinds killing off enemy interceptors. But the problem is, how are you gonna go and deal with these gunships now? You might have a few ASF here and there, and never mind, it seems like there is way more units here, because the Riley have also a lot of Swiftwinds on his own. But the problem is, why are the ASF going away? Why are you running? Go help up your mate! Oh god. Anyway, we have the airfight happening as the Spectre's gunships are gonna be shot down by the interceptors belonging to Paralon, as the prowlers are trying to go and shoot them down, but unfortunately there is just way too many interceptors from Mr. Raelia. Not to mention the Swiftwinds, which are just swiping from left to right, killing of them one after another, meaning that there is nothing left from the units belonging to Paralon, and as such, the air control firmly remains in the hands of the top team. I just wish they would go and use the ASF a little bit more, well, aggressively, because they need to go and kill the torpedo bombers. If the torpedo bombers cannot do anything, then you can basically erase all of these T2 mechs, you can erase this build power, you can kill the flak, and it's gonna be a good time. Also, it seems like the drops actually landed, killing one of the T2 mechs for Raelia, so I guess that was a decent try from Paralon, but unfortunately not enough of damage has been done. As yes, he didn't blow up anything else, just a single T2 mech, so I appreciate him trying to do something, but it didn't work out. Now, with the... Okay, another airfight is happening, but this time it's Swiftwinds from Blinchik going up versus the fuel-less interceptors from Raelia. And yes, there is a lot of stuff in here. We can see Blinchik here. I wonder if sniping him would be possible. Torpedo bombers going up in the air, flying from the base of Blinchik, belining for the bottom part of the map. And let's see what are they gonna go after, but it seems like there is even no need for them. Though they could try to kill these frigates here, with the amount of AA available in the Swiftwinds. And oh my god, the Spectre's gunship actually managed to go and kill one of the T2 pigeons belonging to Mr. Paralon. This is actually very bad. The second one is also under fire. And if it actually dies, this is gonna be horrible, because we can see that Mr. Paralon is in the middle of transition for the T3 pigeon. And that is bad. Okay, the Spectre's gunships have been actually killed off by the T1 MAA, or should I say the T1 AA PD, which is nice to see. But with the Paralon and Blinchik losing all of these mexes here, which were all on level 2, it seems like they're right now on the back foot. Because when we look at the mass score, Team Beba and Boba, that is Paralon and Blinchik, are on 174. And they were on 250 before. Meanwhile, Team anKcat, which was on 170 a few minutes ago, and basically lagging 70 miles behind, right now is on 250, so oh, how the turntables. But yeah, I also really like this drops happening all around from Paralon, just making sure that his opponent have to go and pay attention at all times. And I'm not really sure if I like this T3 HQ location. It can be easily killed. Anyway, the first brick have landed. And maybe it will be the first brick on the path to the victory for Paralon. Is there anything that can actually threaten it? No, there's a bunch of blazes which are gonna mean nothing. The blazes are going in. And yes, they're gonna die all here. Let's go back to the Navy fight. It seems while Paralon was pumping out, Blinchik was pumping out a lot of Destros, the same can be said about anKcat, who just brought in a single Salem and Siren to the mix. Meaning that he can still go and put a fight versus this torpedo bombers. Oh no. Never mind, I spoke too soon. There is just way too many torpedo bombers to go and deal with them. And while the Siren is gonna go and kill a few of them, the amount of them is just staggering. Thankfully, anKcat is here with the cavalcade of ASF coming in to swoop in and help his teammate. Very nice team play. I approve. And yes, here is the problem. The drops, the loyalist, the bricks, as Paralon are just dropping them all over the place. And while Riley can go and actually overcharge this single one, the brick is still is gonna go and kill the T2 HQ, and now there is just nothing to go and stop it here. Meaning that while Riley might win the push here for a second, in a few minutes, I'm afraid that this proxy is just gonna go in and basically massacre everything on their path here to the base of Raelia. That is, unless these gunships kill the HQ, but it seems it's not gonna happen. A bunch of Sky Slammers being built by the T1 land factories is gonna be enough to shut them down, as the annoying boogies swoop down from the sky and drop down dead to the airline. And yeah, it seems like a bunch of angry blazes might be just enough to go and make a push here through this position. Although, with the few bricks, this still might not be enough to actually go and succeed. There's two bricks, the third one is actually being built, or should I say was being built, because the Salem class destroyer and the Siren are gonna actually shut down and focus the HQ, meaning that this proxy base is actually gonna be erased. A really nice team play, where we can see that both the land push and the navy play are basically nicely coordinated in a one decisive swoop to finish off this position here, leaving Paralon basically without any kind of a foothold on the south part of the map. Now, Blinchik was amassing a big naval force, and while we can see it here in its full glory, it might unfortunately not be enough to go and deal with the land units belonging to, the naval units belonging to anKcat and Raelia. They will go and pick up a few of the frigates, but not enough to make a big of a difference. Even more so, as they have basically no air control or nothing, so the left side team can basically just pump out a bunch of torpedo bombers and go in, suicide run, kill all of the enemy Destros, and call it a day. Although I spoke too soon, it seems like Blinchik's navy caught up to the navy belonging to anKcat, meaning that there is really not much to stop it. There really is not much to stop it. Those two ships have to go and run away. And it seems like Paralon is saying GG, because anKcat is basically just doing whatever the hell he wants with the air. The ACU goes up in flames in the ion explosion from the Cybran ACU, as we can see the ball slowly rise in the air. And yeah, beautiful explosion. But Blinchik is not gonna give up. he says no, I'm gonna play to the end. I might be on the back foot, but I can still do it and I'm gonna have fun playing it. Even more so as it seems like why he's winning the top side here and letting the base belonging to anKcat. The big problem is what do you do with this Air Force here? Although, yeah, I cannot blame Paralon for quitting, considering just how big the discrepancy between the masses looking at. Okay, we have the airfight happening, we have Blinchik up versus anKcat. The ASF are intermingling and shooting one after another, and it seems like anKcat is actually going to fall back. No, it was just a big white turn, which seems to have worked wonders. As the ASF belonging to Blinchik are gonna go and fall down one after another from the sky. Even though there is AA in here, we can see the tracers shooting up in the air. One shell after another trying to go and shut down the enemy gunship and stuff, but no, the whaler keeps on whaling. And while it might get shot down in a few more seconds, it is still gonna go and deal quite reasonable damage to the economy of Blinchik. An economy which is basically non-existent, considering that the Team Awesome Knights have already 400 mass per tick. Meanwhile, Team Blinchik, or rather what's left from the team, is barely hanging at 200 income, so double the income for the left side team. Meaning that this basically is gonna be nothing else but basically a cleaning job for the left side. We can see some more specters coming in as the ACU belonging to Blinchik is gonna explode near the cliff and the naval factories. Saying GG as the Team Awesome Knights takes the first win in this round. GG, well played. Honestly, another good game. Team Paralon was looking quite nice in the early to the mid game, but then after a few bad choices it seems like the Team Awesome Knights basically just pulled their carry pants on and said like, no, this game is mine. And here we are, it's 1-0 for the Team Awesome Knights. Back to the lobby.